Hey y'all, before we get into the review, I just wanted to say a big thank you. Thanks for checking out this video. This is the first film review here on this channel, and I had a lot of fun making it, so if you liked it, go ahead and let me know at the end what you thought. I'd love to get some feedback from you as well. But I also wanted to kind of give a note about what this channel is. If the next video after this isn't a film review, don't panic. This is housed for a lot of different things. Usually a lot of my passion projects, so any animations, artwork, music, film reviews, maybe some video essays on just topics I find interesting. So if you also find that interesting, go ahead and subscribe and you can be notified of whenever other videos come out. So without further ado, let's get into the review. Cruella is the next edition in Disney's string of live-action adaptations of their cartoon classics, and more specifically, it's next in line of their villain origin stories. After the debatable success of Maleficent in 2014 and its probably not so successful sequel in 2019, Disney's back at it again and fleshing out and giving a backstory to their most beloved villains. And this time, it's the devilishly fashionable dog-napper Cruella de Vil. We follow the story of Estella, played by Emma Stone, and her journey from petty thief to a major contender of the fashion world during the rise of punk rock culture in 1970s London. With her undeniable genius for design, and a little help from her co-cronies Horace and Jasper, Estella works her way up the chain to work alongside the premier fashion mogul, the Baroness, who's brilliantly played by Emma Thompson. Wanting to establish herself as the top dog of the fashion world, Estella creates an alter ego as the spiteful, stylish, and wild Cruella, in order to sabotage the Baroness and steal her spotlight. A few tragic and dark secrets emerge which further catapult her into embracing her villainous side, and she enacts her schemes to prove herself and to eliminate any competition. Now, honestly, the story and setting are a really great backdrop for a fun film, and I actually did have a lot of fun with this film. There's intrigue, there's heists, there's revenge, dark humor, and just wall-to-wall energy. Now, the standout aspects of the film are obviously the leads. Both Emmas are just incredible, they're at the top of their game, and they really bring such an amazing presence to the screen. And Emma Stone really just embraces everything that we love about Cruella. Her madcap energy, that iconic cackle, all comes together, and you can tell that she's really thrown herself into this role. But she also adds this depth and this charm that you would obviously need to be a protagonist of a villain origin story. Now, even beyond that, I think the strongest thing this film has going for it is Emma Thompson and her portrayal as the Baroness, and she really sets herself up as a proper villain here. She's icy, she's cold, she's unfeeling, and she's unapologetically egotistical in this film. Emma Thompson really shines as that antagonist that you just love to hate, and I think a lot of her attitude also really helps to balance some of the more zaniness of Cruella. Now, another huge highlight for this film is the costumes. And Disney brought in two-time Oscar winner Jenny Bevan to be the designer here on the costumes. And she's known for films like Mad Max Fury Road, the Sherlock Holmes film series, and The King's Speech. Now, it may sound a little pretentious to say this, but I almost feel like the costumes in this film are almost characters themselves. They just draw so much focus when they're on screen, and it's such a dazzling display of creativity. It's a visual feast, and I really feel like this film will probably go on to win awards, if not just for the costume design in the film. Now, even with these highlights, sadly the film does have some pretty big flaws in it, I think. First of which being the runtime. This film is almost 2 hours and 15 minutes long, which, again, there's nothing wrong with long movies, but you kind of need story to fill up the time that the movie has, and I don't feel like Cruella has enough story to justify being as long as it is. While it did manage to keep my interest for most of it, I caught myself being taken out of the experience because I was suddenly then conscious of how long the film was going on, especially during its final third act, and that's never something you want in your film. Now, that really ties into what I feel like is the biggest flaw for this film, and that's its overall tone. If you've noticed, this is one of the few Disney films that's earned a PG-13 rating, but just barely. And while there are some pretty dark moments in the film, I feel like it was this constant battle of wanting to be this fun, lively kids film, but also this more mature, more dark, character-driven story. And even some of the few, really shocking moments of the film kind of made me laugh a little bit, because they were just portrayed so silly, and I don't feel like that was intentional, but it kind of led to what I feel like was a really confused tone for the whole film. And personally, I think Cruella could have been way more successful if they had just leaned a little bit more into the seriousness of these darker elements. And we've actually seen Disney go some pretty dark places, even darker than what we see in this film. Especially like in the Pirates of the Caribbean series, we see a lot of visually dark things and also thematically as well. And then we just didn't get that here in Cruella, and I feel like it's a bit of a misstep for them. And really, I feel like the backstory to a woman like Cruella de Vil, the one that we've all come to know and love, really deserves a lot more of a special look at some of the more darker elements and tragedies that play into her story that we see presented here. But with everything, I feel like it still stands as a pretty fun film. It's got a lot of style to it, it's just visually so pleasing, and it's got great acting from the leads and also the supporting cast. Now sadly, because of some of the setbacks and kind of the weird tone that I got from it, I feel like a lot of the things kind of really hold it back from truly standing out among Disney's live-action adaptations, however. So with everything together, this film earns a solid 70%. Hey y'all, thanks again for checking out this film review. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. It'd be greatly appreciated. Also, let me know what you thought about Cruella. Go ahead and drop in the comments if you have any additions. If you agreed or disagreed with me, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the film. Also, if there's any films that you'd like me to review, whether it's a film coming out this year or perhaps a film that's been out for a long time that you really enjoy and you'd like to get my feedback on as well. And hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos, and hit that bell if you want to be notified of whenever content is uploaded here on the channel. Thanks, y'all.